What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. I am joined by Jordan. Today's episode, we have our wild card weekend preview. We got some underdog fantasy plays, guys. At the end of the episode, we go into we do a couple plays. Maybe it's irresponsible. Maybe it's smart. I don't know. But where you can 100 times your cash, guys. So head over to Underdog Fantasy, enter promo code DUDES. They will match you up to $1,000. Now, throwing it over to Jordan. Let's get into those plays, buddy. So I'm going to go first, Jordan, and we can go from there, I guess, right? There's nothing else to say other than give us a like, give us a sub. Really helps us out, guys. And, go to Underdog Fantasy, enter promo code DUDES. They'll match you up to $1,000. Really helps us out here, guys. So I'm going over to Houston, and I got, Chargers, Texans. I got a couple plays here from this. I am taking C.J. Stroud under 1.5 passing yards here. Playing against the Chargers. Defense is pretty good. Stroud's not playing that well. These playoff games, Jordan, I'm almost going like gut calls on these, if I'm being completely honest. I'm just going to go with C.J. Stroud not playing as well, so that's why I'm going with the under on the touchdowns there. I know you guys usually take overs on this show, but I actually kind of been a fan of unders the whole season, kind of been riding that. So I'm going to stay with Stroud on the under there. Only one I wish I had more Josh Allen on today's episode, but yeah. So I don't know. I can get over to you, Jordan. You have another young quarterback you can play if you want to go do that.
Yeah, I got Jaden Daniels over 46.5 rushing yards here. He's went over 4 of his last 6 weeks. 9 rush attempts per game, averaging about 9 rush attempts per game in those 6 games. I think he's going to run here against his Tampa Bay defense. They're a lot stronger against the run. I expect him to drop back, and some will be scrambles, some will be design runs. This is one of the highest total on the board. I think we see a lot of offense in this game. So I like the Jaden Daniels over. I think it might be 48.5 now up on Underdog, but I like that. I like that all the way up to about 49.5, 50.5 maybe. Once you get in those low 50s might be a little too high, but I think Jaden Daniels runs wild in this game. I think, like I said, I think he's running, he's dropping back, and he might just take off, So I like Jaden Daniels quite a bit in this spot.
Yeah, and honestly, Jaden Daniels, I like a lot of the commanders here. I like McLaurin there as well, and Daniels.
Zacchaeus is nice too.
Yeah, Zacchaeus, and the multiplier on Zacchaeus is really well also. I thought about throwing him in my little 100x here at the end. He did not quite make the cut though, but I did think about doing that. What I got here, staying in the Texans game, I have Ladd McConkey over 72.5 receiving yards. It was like 70. It's gone up quite a bit here. So I got Ladd at 72.5. Yeah, he's just kind of hot hand over there in LA, and I think I'm going to just keep rolling with it. It'd be nice if the Texans can score some points to where the Chargers actually have to keep throwing the ball. My only worry here at this play is Chargers just end up running the ball the whole time because they put in their defense's hands. But Ladd McConkey, I like him receiving yards. I like him kind of receptions as well. I think it was 5.5.
It's 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Trent, that I like the 5.5 receptions. I think they're both great. I like the 5.5 too. The Texans secondary is a lot more beatable. They've kind of been beat all year long. So I like that one quite a bit from you.
Okay. All right, then your next one here, Jordan, if you want to, we'll skip that actually. You have Tucker Kraft is what I have next on the docket. You had him. You want to talk about that just a little bit in case it comes back, or
no? Tucker Kraft's for the Packers, Trent. They're playing.
Sorry, I keep
a different
Packers,
tight end.
I keep thinking that the Packers. Sorry, my bad.
I got Tucker Kraft here. Well, I did have 2 tight ends, which is kind of weird. It was
very weird for you to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you have 2 tight end plays?
Tucker Kraft, the over 35.5 receiving yards. When I looked today, this was pretty holding strong at that number. He's went over in 10 of 16 games this year, 5 of his last 6. And I think the one where he didn't get it, he had 34 yards. So just short of the number. No Christian Watson. I think Jordan Love really trusts Kraft. And I think Philadelphia is going to stop the run here. I think they're going to make Jordan Love throw. They have a really good defense. Don't get me wrong. But even if the Eagles go up in this game, if you think the Eagles crush in this game, then I think it's still good play because the Packers are going to be throwing from behind. that number's real low. Jordan Love trusts Kraft. He's seeing good amount of targets. He's gone over this number a lot. So I like this play quite a bit for Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, the Packers side, Watson does open it up a little bit there, and I have some Jaden Reed stuff here at the end as well. So I won't get to that yet unless that's my next play here. But next play here, I'm going right back to you, Jordan.
Okay.
Actually, on this next play, let me just double check here. But yeah, I got you coming back since we took those games out. It's a little different. So here you go. Here's your other play, Jordan.
Yeah, this is probably honestly my favorite play of the whole entire slate for me. The problem is you can't get the 4.5 anymore. It is now 5.5, and to be honest, I like the 5.5 just as much. Like, and I think you can get a decent multiplier. I like his rush yards too. Like, if you want to go with the rush yards instead of the rushing attempts, I think that's great too. But I mean, we got Bo Nix against the Buffalo Bills defense, who's been really good. They've been selling out to stop the run. I just don't see them being able to run the football, which means Bo Nix drops back a ton and he takes off. Like, he's going to use his legs. He's a rookie, a huge underdog in his first playoff game. He's going to trust that. Like, he's not going to take risks with the ball. He's gone over the 4.5, 304. He's also gone over the 5.5, three of his last four. I just think he runs a lot in this game. So if you want to go the rushing yards, which I think was 26.5 when I looked earlier today. So you can go the rushing yards, you can go the rush attempts. If you don't like the 4.5, take the rush. Or if you don't like the 5.5, just take the rushing yards. I think he ran for 47 yards last week. So really like Bo Nix a lot running wise in this spot.
I always like Bo Nix. And yeah, running here, playing against Josh Allen. Josh Allen's stats in playoffs are unbelievable. The amount of yards he throws, the amount of points he puts up. Like, Josh Allen is just a different machine in playoffs. I wish I had Josh Allen as a play. I will add him in as a play. I don't think you can really go wrong playing Josh Allen in this. If you want to pair Bo Nix rushing attempts or rushing yards with Josh Allen passing yards, I don't know what that is at the top of my head, but the guy's averaging, I think, like 300 passing yards per game in playoffs. So the guy just turns it up.
My only worry, Trent, would be that they get up, which I think they get up in this game quite a bit, and then they just run the ball, milk the clock. Like, I just like the Bo Nix stuff because do we agree Buffalo's gonna beat the Broncos?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
I think it could get closer, but I kind of like that Broncos defense a little bit there. But I do agree with you there. I just think that Allen's going to get it done somehow, and I think they got to start getting Keon Coleman and Amari Cooper ready for playoffs, and maybe they just get some, little routes there that we need, or they're saving them. I don't know, saving them for KC maybe. But yeah. So my next one here, I have Baker Mayfield over 247.5 passing yards. I like a lot of plays in this game as well. I could see there being points here. Both defenses, it seems like, just aren't quite that good. Like, they don't worry me, Jordan. I don't know if you feel that way. Like, I could see this being a shootout. I like Baker Mayfield. Pair him. You want to get a little bit more of a multiplier. Pair him up with like a Jalen McMillan touchdown catch or even a Mike Evans touchdown catch, and then try to find another one of these plays. I really like Baker Mayfield in this game here. 247.5 passing yards. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are going to score points. Buccaneers defense has been, I just like the amount of points I think are going to be scored in this game. Both sides of the ball, you want to pair Baker Mayfield up with Terry McLaurin on the other side. I really think you could do a 3 or 4 person play here in this game when you wanted to go Daniels rushing yards, Baker Mayfield passing yards, McMillan, TD catch for a nice multiplier. But there's a lot of stuff here that I like in this game, and I think I feel like this game here, Jordan, Bucks and Commanders, might be the most underrated game of the week, really. Like, what do you hear? Jalen McMillan?
Yeah, I got Jalen McMillan here. This is me. I got Jalen McMillan over the 49.5 receiving yards. I think it's hovering around that 50.5, 51.5 now. I still like it there. He's gone over this number in his last 5 games. Since I think coming back from injury, he's averaging 5 catches on 6 targets in those 5 weeks. So, like Jalen McMillan a lot. I think Baker Mayfield is really starting to trust him. He provides that weapon down the field. He can kind of run a lot of different routes. He's a great compliment to Mike Evans, and he makes some great catches. So really like Jalen McMillan in this spot against this Washington defense. I think, like I said, I think we'd see a lot of points in this game. This game goes up and down. So like this one quite a bit.
Yeah, and I don't need to say anything else about this one, but I'm going to go over to another one. A guy that's kind of been maybe made you mad the whole entire season, and I'm going to go back to the well here, but I got Mark Andrews. I think playoff Mark Andrews comes to play here. They're going to need him. Zay Flowers is for sure out, Jordan, or is he questionable? I can't remember quite what that was.
He's out.
He's out.
I think he's out.
I was able to snag Mark Andrews at 44 and a half receiving yards. I think it's a good spot. I think you can keep playing him here. Mark Andrews, Ravens, with Lamar Jackson. It's a play that I like here. So playing against Pittsburgh, going to be a tough, gritty game. The Ravens will win this game, but I think the Steelers play them tough, and I think Lamar, will fall back to, kind of his old friend he's thrown to for most of his career. So, Jordan, you have a play in this game as well, Jordan.
Yeah, I got another pass catcher for Lamar. I think it's just kind of playing the numbers with Zay Flowers rolled out. It's up to 46.5 now. With Zay out last week, when he went down, Bateman went 5 catches for 76 yards last week. This is just kind of, again, this is Zay's out. I think Bateman, Andrews likely are his clear 3 pass catchers for Lamar. Bateman's going to be that leading receiver. He's going to play every single snap. He's going to run a ton of routes. It's a pretty decent matchup against the Steelers defense that, to be honest, feels like it's been a little overrated the last month and a half, maybe. So, yeah, like the Bateman play quite a bit, kind of with the same numbers as your Andrews play, Trent. I like them both.
Yeah. And with Lamar Jackson, with the Steelers, I don't hate if you want to go, if you want to get a little more risky, Jordan, and go like a anytime touchdown. I don't hate that either. You get a little bit more of a multiplier, a little more risky, but I don't hate that either. So next here on the list, here, moving on down here, going to a guy maybe, I think it's a big moment for him. I got Saquon Barkley over 11.5 receiving yards against Green Bay. I think he gets this early. I also like the receptions play. I think it was around 3.5. So I like Saquon. I think he's just going to be ready for this game. I think he wants to win a playoff game. I think they're going to use him. Only thing that maybe worries me about receiving yards is if the Eagles just get way ahead and don't have to use him. But this really, Saquon could do this on 1 or 2 catches. So that's why I like it. And yeah, so Jordan, I'll go over to you here on the next one. And that's actually all we have, Jordan. That's all we have. And we can do our 100X here. So this is something a little different we haven't done yet this year. We haven't shared it on the episodes. Can
I just give it my 3 favorite? Like, I want to give my 3 favorite plays. I'll give 4 actually. I really like. I'll go in order. How about that? Bo Nix is my favorite play. The Bateman play. So Bo Nix, his rushing attempts or rushing yards, my favorite play. Rashad Bateman, receiving yards, second favorite play. Jalen McMillan, receiving yards, third favorite play. Then the Jaden Daniels rushing yards. I think the McMillan and Jaden Daniels rushing yards are really close for me. I can flip-flop those. And then Tucker Kraft does come behind for me at like 5.5. Or not 5.5, sorry, the 35.5 receiving yards. So that would be an order of my favorite from like favorite play with the most confidence to the one with the least confidence.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, that's fine. So here is our 100X. We haven't done this before, but I think this is kind of a fun thing to throw on here just to kind of show you what you can do. So this is just, it's 100 times whatever you put in there. So we have Jordan's plays here. Jordan, if you want to read those down. These are kind of different picks. There's some picks that are in there as well. Right, Jordan? Like you have Lamar in there.
Yeah, so I think I have my 5 favorite that I just listed off, so I won't repeat those. Plus the lad over 5.5, which I kind of talked about earlier. I liked your Mark Andrews one, so I threw the Mark Andrews one in there. And then I went with Lamar rushing yards too. So I ultimately think the Ravens are going to score at will here. Again, I kind of feel like this Pittsburgh defense has been a little bit overrated. I think the Ravens can kind of do whatever they want here. So, yeah, that's kind of mine. Has all my favorite plays, plus and I really like the Lod play too. So kind of 6 of my favorite plays, plus one of yours, and I like the Jackson rushing yards as well.
Yeah. And so that you went up 127.46%, right? Or exit, right?
Times, yeah. It's a huge
it.
multiplier.
So, yeah, huge multiplier. The odds aren't as good, but and it makes you flex this, right? This isn't a
No,
I didn't. I thought it maybe did though, but I didn't. I don't usually go like this is a little crazier than what I normally do, just and people probably think I do crazy things. But speaking of crazy, I got Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown. And then I have Puka Nacua over 0.5 rushing yards. Lad McConkey, the same receiving yards. I have Mike Evans, anytime touchdown. George Pickens over 55.5 receiving yards. Jaden Reed over 1.5 rushing yards. Jaden Daniels over 232.5 passing yards. And Josh Allen over 1.5 passing TDs. I feel like mine is pretty wild there, Jordan. Being totally honest, I have 2 wide receivers with rushing yards, rushing plays. And then Cooper Kupp catching a touchdown seems really crazy at the moment with how bad he's been.
How did my multiplier get higher than yours?
I'm trying to figure out how that was because I kind of went with something a little bit crazy here, and then I'm like, how am I not higher than Jordan? It must be.
Oh, let me guess. Your Josh Allen 1.5 is less than a 1 multiplier. It's got to be in the decimals. And
Pickens probably. Maybe Evans TD.
No, your Evans touchdown is probably below the 1 multiplier. I think all mine are regular multipliers or plus the Lad one. The Lad one is a little bit low, but that's definitely how we got. And honestly, I might have altered the Lamar one up to 49.5. So maybe that's what it was too, a little bit.
Okay. All right. Like we said, guys, head over to Underdog Fantasy, enter promo code DUDES. And dudes 100, and enter promo code dudes. They'll match you up to $1,000, guys. And remember, give us a like, give us a sub. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes.
Real quick, Trent.
Yeah.
Also, if you go to Underdog right now and you are a current member, they are offering a deposit, 25% deposit match up to $250. So
that's nice.
You maybe like that's. I would assume that's a site-wide promo. I think it's up until.
Let me double check this. You.
They could be targeting me. I don't know what that means. But I have a deposit match up for the next 24 hours. So who knows? Okay. Check that out. Check. Make sure, see if you have it. You might as well.
All righty. Perfect, guys. We got a nice little weekend here. We got more college football. We got the semifinals. Got one more game left there. Wild card all weekend. We got football on Monday night as well. So after the Monday night game, we'll be back. And we will be ready to record. We will be back to you guys Tuesday. I said Monday earlier. We'll be back Tuesday with maybe some playoff reactions, some playoff predictions, some more fantasy football stuff. Probably need to get a mock draft out there soon, Jordan, just for fun, because why not? Off season. And everybody that got mad at us about the Detroit Lions head coaching stuff, just calm down and leave us a comment here in the show. Really helps us out, guys. And we will see you next time. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.